It was the first day after Emma had agreed to tutor billionaire Robert Erickson's brother Samuel. Robert had one condition. Emma must stay in his mansion while she tutored. After everything the two of them had been through, it was hard for Emma to pretend like there's nothing between them, living under the same roof. She was climbing down the stairs, lost in thoughts, as she stumbled upon something and almost fell off. Robert rushed to save her.
Are you okay? Are you hurt? Call the doc!
No, I'm completely fine. See, I can still walk.
I'm gonna shift your room downstairs. And goddamn these stairs. I'm getting a lift.
The staff at the house were surprised to see their boss like that. They had never seen him act so caring before. That too for a woman. After a fit of shock, Emma left for her dorm to pack her things. But she didn't expect a terrible nightmare there.
Get the hell out of here, Ted. I don't have time for this.
Ted was Emma's boyfriend before he cheated on her with her best friend, Kristen. He now seemed to feel guilty about it and took every chance he got to apologize. But Emma would not buy it.
Emma, don't scream at him. It's not his fault.
Oh, shut up! What did you tell me the other day? That he loves you? Then why is he still wandering around me?
I never said I loved her. I never can. It's always been you, Emma. Please, tell me how I can make this all right. I'll do anything to fix this.
We're so past all the fixings, Ted.
Emma pushed him and walked away. Ted followed her, leaving Kristen shouting behind them.
Ugh, you'll pay for this, Emma. I'll make your life a living hell, and he'll watch.
Emma had no idea how evil Kristen's mind could get, and soon she was in for a shock.
How much do you take for the night, pretty one?
I only serve drinks, sir. You've got this wrong.
But the drunk man wouldn't listen. He tried to touch Emma. She lost her cool and slapped the guy. He got angry and tried to hurt Emma again. But just then, another man hit him hard. Emma looked up and saw it was Robert Erickson.
Please don't hit me, sir. A little girl paid me $1,000 to come and assault this girl at the bar. I'm sorry.
While Emma asked for the name, the drunken man had no idea. But Emma clearly knew it must be Kristen. She was doing it in anger because Ted was still after Emma, even though Emma ended things with him.
What do we do with them? And that girl? You want me to take care of that matter?
No, let him go. I'll see about Kristen. Thanks again, Mr. Erickson. But how did you know I was going to be here?
I know more about you than I'm willing to tell.
Later, they both went for coffee at a small coffee shop. It was the first time they were laughing and talking over a coffee. Mostly, they only had formal talks, like a boss and an employee would have. This time, it felt nice and different. Until Robert touched a very sensitive topic that Emma never thought to disclose.
So, tell me, Emma, why were you here serving? Why do you have to live like this? I don't mean to sound rude, but I'm pretty sure neither Ted Smith nor Jack Meyer would let their woman live a life you're living. What's your relationship with Jack anyway?
Emma got quiet. She couldn't tell Robert about Jack. He shouldn't know. In fact, nobody in town could know. Emma steered the conversation in a different direction. Moreover, her mind was consumed by the grave events of the night. How could the person she once thought was her best friend stoop so low? And that too, over a boy? Kristen's cheap behavior wasn't sitting well with Emma. The next time she met Ted, she took a bunch of photographs from her bag and tossed them over to Ted. Those pictures clearly showed Kristen paying $1,000 to a man who tried to harass her at the bar.
Tell your girlfriend to stop sending men after me. This man tried to hurt me at the bar last night. Turns out, Kristen paid him to do so. I was lucky Robert got there on time.
What? Kristen's not my girlfriend? And Robert? You mean Robert Erickson?
Emma walked away without answering. She didn't want to deal with Ted anymore, and definitely didn't want to talk to him about Robert Erickson. A few minutes later, Robert's car stopped right in front of her. Emma got in to go home with him to tutor his brother. Robert was unusually quiet that day, and it made Emma uncomfortable. She decided to break the silence and speak first.
You're early today.
I was here to meet the principal here.
The principal? Why?
Why are you so surprised? Afraid that the principal will tell me something about you? Or let out your secrets?
Emma couldn't confidently answer, and it made Robert curious.
Tell me one thing, Emma. You're a brilliant student. You could choose to work anywhere. Why did you stay in this school as a teacher?
Robert had thought that Emma decided to stay back there for Ted, and it made him angry and somewhat jealous. Was he falling for Emma? Soon came the answer. A few days passed. Robert had asked Emma to be his date for a wine tasting party. When she got out of the car wearing an expensive designer dress, the entire crowd was awestruck. But Robert told her that she looked awful.
Are you crazy? You picked this dress yourself.
I don't know. Just doesn't look good. With all eyes set on you.
Emma was confused with this guy's strangeness. She didn't talk to him the entire party until he pulled her up for a dance. Just when they were dancing, Emma saw William Meyer. He was looking at her angrily and she forgot her steps. Seeing this, Robert pulled her close and kissed her. Emma was shocked to her bones.
Why did you... How could you?
William Meyer is giving you a weird look. Do you know him?
No. I don't.
Robert had so many questions. How did Emma know such a powerful man like William Meyer? As they were about to leave, Emma was stopped by Jack, Meyer's son.
Emma, walk with me.
President Jack Meyer. You're not trying to steal my girlfriend right in front of me, are you?
Mr. Erickson, why don't you wait for me in the car? I'll just have a talk with Mr. Meyer.
Didn't I tell you to stay away from him? Why are you going about kissing him like that? You know he's a dangerous man. I warned you about him.
I'm just tutoring his brother and he asked me to come here with him tonight. And the kiss? Honestly, I don't know why he did that.
I don't care. Resign from tutoring his brother. I thought you were better than this.
Did I embarrass you? Nobody knows we're related. Why are you even worried? You're a Meyer and I'm a Green. Let's keep it that way.
Emma was angry at her brother for judging her. As she walked towards Robert's car, her head was filled with questions. What will she tell Robert the truth about who Jack Meyer was? Why was she hiding it from him in the first place? The next day, she went to school and found her stepbrother Jack waiting for her.
Emma Meyer, please stop. You're walking too fast.
My name is Emma Green. And yes, I'm walking fast because I'm trying to avoid you.
You're still mad at your older brother? I'm sorry, Emma. I just care for you. Stop. Listen, Dad doesn't like you being around Erickson. You should immediately stop seeing him for whatever reasons.
With that warning, Jack left, and Emma couldn't help but think about how mean her dad William Meyer could get to save his reputation. Suddenly, a black Audi pulled up in front of her, dragged her in, and covered her face. Emma was being kidnapped. When the cover on her face finally lifted, she found herself sitting in front of her dad, William Meyer, and he was not happy.
You have no shame at all. You were asked to stay away from Robert Erickson on several occasions, but you...
This is my life, and if you thought you deserved a say in it, forget it.
Oh, you will so regret this, girl. This is the final warning. Get rid of Robert, or I can't promise you I'd be this kind the next time.
And a mention of kindness from you.
Emma shook her head and started to walk out of his big mansion. For some reason, she had always been treated like she didn't belong there, and she always felt she was not a Meyer. Emma was walking outside to the road, feeling helpless, and just then a car stopped right in front of her, and Robert got out of it like an angel. Without a second thought, Emma ran to him and hugged him. Robert hugged her right back. While they were hugging in the streets, a car passed by them and entered the Meyer mansion. Sitting inside was Ilsa Meyer, the Meyer daughter. She ran straight to her father.
Why was that girl here, Dad? You brought her here, didn't you? How could you? And now she's out there romancing Robert Erickson.
What did you say? Robert Erickson is with her. You mean now?
Yes, I saw them both hugging in the streets. Look, Dad, if you ever bring her back in this mansion, I'll forget that you're my father.
Take care of Emma Green.
According to William Meyer, nothing should come between his reputation, not even his own daughter. Meanwhile, just when Emma thought matters couldn't get any worse, another drama unfolded the next day at the university.
You told me you broke up with my Ted. Then why did I see you both together yesterday? He was on his knees in front of you. Proposing?
Just because he was on his knees, it doesn't mean he was proposing to me. He was begging for my forgiveness.
So you didn't get back together, did you?
No, your son and I are not together, and we never will. I hope that makes you happy.
Principal Smith had always made it hard for Emma because she was poor and was dating her son Ted. On several occasions, she had asked Emma to break up with Ted, and now that it had finally happened, she's happier than ever. Meanwhile, Robert had asked his secretary to get all possible information on Emma. Emma's file was finally in Robert's hand, and everything was normal except for one thing. No one knew who Emma's father was. But the file said Emma had some links with the Meyer family. Robert started to grow curious. Later in the day, Emma was halfway into her shift at a local cafe when someone familiar walked in.
Why are you here now, Jack?
I'm just here to order food, okay? I need some burgers. 100 will do. It's my treat at work today.
Your order will be ready in 15 minutes. Please have a seat.
There's no one here. Why don't I just stand here and have a little chat with my little sister?
While Jack was trying to convince Emma to leave Robert's place, Robert was standing at a corner and staring at the two of them.
Emma, do you really think that Erickson sees you only as his brother's tutor?
God, I honestly don't understand what's the problem with you and Dad. What do you even think of me? That I'll marry someone for money?
Emma!
Jack held Emma's hand as she turned to walk away. Right then, Robert Erickson entered. Emma quickly pulled her hands out of Jack's grip.
Miss Green, I'm here to take you home.
Good. Let's go.
Emma quietly walked along with Robert and sat in his car. It made Jack really angry, but he didn't react.
What's wrong? Had a fight with Jack?
And why do you have to know that again?
I thought we were friends.
Friends with the big boss?
You must be kidding. Emma thought Robert could not be serious about her. The next day, after Samuel went for his exams, she told Robert that her job as a tutor was complete and that she was gonna move out. This made Robert really sad, and his heart sank.
Mr. Erickson, our employment relationship is over. This is goodbye then. You won't have to be bothered by me anymore.
And then Emma just walked out of his home and his life. Robert didn't say a word when she left, even though he had hundreds of things going on in his mind. Emma moved back to her school and she went back to her part-time jobs. She was working at the cafe when Jack showed up again.
You're here again.
Can I just steal you for a few minutes? I promise it will be quick.
Emma nodded, and Jack took Emma in his car to an open field. Emma was surprised, and as they walked in, they witnessed some beautiful fireworks. Emma smiled with joy and hugged her brother.
I realize I was hard on you. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I just love my little sister and care a lot for her. But I know she's all grown up and can make her own decisions. I shouldn't have told you to leave Robert.
I am no longer living in his mansion. I moved out after my contract with him ended.
In the happy conversation and the fireworks going on, Emma didn't notice that Robert Erickson had been calling her for the 4th time now, and was totally losing patience. He angrily called out his secretary and asked him to find out Emma's current location.
Who the hell does she think she is? Ugh! This woman will drive me crazy. Why does she have this power over me? Why do I get so restless when it comes to her? Emma!
Despite her ignoring his calls, Robert kept trying again and again, and when his patience ran dry, he took the next step. Meanwhile, Emma, oblivious to the turmoil Robert was in, waved bye to her brother and headed towards home. Emma was walking back home when she ran into Robert. Clearly, it wasn't a coincidence.
You didn't answer my calls. Why are you here?
Me? Why are you here? How did you even know I'm here? Are you stalking me? Samuel sat for his exams. Our contract is over, Mr. Erickson.
So what? It does not mean you can stop answering my calls. Do you have any idea how worried I was?
Mr. Erickson, you don't need to worry about me. If you really need to know, I moved into a new apartment, but no one knows about it. I'm safe. You can go home.
With that, Emma walked away, but Robert continued to follow her to her new home. I said you can leave.
I just want to make sure you're safe. You can't push me away for that.
Look, I just moved in and this place is a mess. I'm gonna go to sleep and you... well, I don't know. Do whatever you want to do.
With that, Emma fell asleep. Robert decided to go, leaving a note behind. He found himself doing strange things for her. He also wondered why he was so obsessed with a girl as normal as Emma. When Emma woke up to the note the next morning, she couldn't help but smile. Later in the day at school, Emma's friend Carrie delivered some shocking news.
Emma, you're not gonna believe this. Kristen is pregnant, and the principal is super mad at her. I don't have the details, but I heard that the principal had asked her to get the child aborted, or if she decides to keep it, she's on her own.
I hope this works out for them. This isn't fair, even for someone like her. Emma felt a certain heartache when she heard it. Ted and Emma always talked about having a family of their own, but she knew it was not gonna happen anymore. At the far corner of the field sat Ted silently staring at Emma. He had been avoiding Kristen ever since she found out she was pregnant. Emma didn't notice him, and soon Samuel was there to pick her up to join his family for dinner.
Thank you for agreeing to have dinner with us, Miss Green, and thank you for tutoring me so well. I did my exams really well.
You're right on time. Dinner's all ready. Let's sit on the table.
Oh, I invited Andrew too. He's probably on his way and will be here soon. We should wait for him.
Robert's face changed colors when he heard Andrew's name. Andrew Erickson was the oldest brother, and he was in a wheelchair after a terrible accident that made both his legs paralyzed. Rumor has it that Robert was the one behind the accident, but no one knew the truth. Emma started to feel uncomfortable hearing it too.
It seems like a family dinner. I really shouldn't be here.
Rubbish. You're like my big sister. You should be here.
You didn't tell me you were coming.
I didn't realize I had to inform you to come to my own home.
Emma had never seen anyone talk to Robert the way Andrew did. And the strange thing was, Robert didn't even say a word against him. Had it been anyone else, Robert would have had him killed. They wouldn't even look each other in the eye. All these made Emma really uneasy. She left the dinner table to go to the washroom, but was followed by Robert. You?
You look so pale. Are you okay?
I want to go home. Can I?
If you go home now, I'm gonna tell everyone our little secret.
What secret do we have?
You didn't forget that we've slept together, did you? So, why don't you just play along?
Emma couldn't believe herself. What was wrong with this guy? Adding to the tension, Andrew had started talking to Samuel about Emma in the dining hall.
Miss Green is only a few years older than you are, isn't she, Samuel? I've heard that most young guys like older women. Is that the same in your case? Are you guys secretly dating?
You're silly, Andrew. How could Samuel date my girlfriend?
The entire room fell silent. It was so hard for Emma to digest what Robert just said in front of his family. But why? Why would Robert go around telling people that she's his girlfriend? Was this gonna cause much more trouble for Emma?
I knew it! I knew you only kept Miss Green here because you liked her.
So, when are you planning to get married, brother?
Anytime I get the green signal from Miss Green.
Emma was starting to feel uncomfortable, but Robert seemed to enjoy putting her in such situations. Everyone at the dinner table stared at her, expecting her to speak, but she just smiled and nodded.
Robert, I was just trying to take my leave.
But Robert gently made her sit back. Emma couldn't wait to get out of the Erickson mansion. She was tired of faking her smile, and when it was finally time for her to leave, Robert surprised her again.
It was a great time. I'll be staying with Emma tonight at her place. Good night, brothers.
What?
Come on, let's go.
This is insane! You can't keep blackmailing me forever! Stop the car!
Emma stepped out of the car and screamed until her throat hurt. Then she got back and insisted that she wanted to drive. Robert agreed.
I'm gonna crash the car if you don't promise to never use the secret you have against me!
I see.
Robert seemed unbothered. Emma was speeding the car, and at one point she started to get scared. But Robert still sat calm and cool.
What's wrong with you?
I like the idea of dying together. That's where you were heading, right?
Seriously? God!
Emma angrily stopped the car. She had given in, knowing it was no use trying to threaten Robert. He was just built differently. And they reached Emma's home.
Goodbye.
What? You heard me before. I'm staying with you tonight.
Mr. Erickson, please stop.
You said you wanted to drive and send my driver away. And I'm pretty drunk too. Would you really want me to drive back home?
Ugh! Fine! You can crash here for the night, wherever you find a place to fit you. I'm gonna take my bed.
And when she woke up the next morning, Robert was already up and looking at her. Emma quietly got ready and left for school without saying anything to him. As Emma stepped into the school hallway, she felt the eyes of 100 people on her.
What did I do now? Why is everyone staring at me?
Emma, don't freak out. Your qualification to stay in school has been revoked by the principal.
What? You mean I'm done here?
Emma's anger was seen all over her face. She rushed to the principal's room. The principal had a cunning smile on her face. Emma knew it was her way of getting back at Emma.
You replaced me!
I was actually expecting you, Emma. Oh, yes, you've been replaced by Kristen. The list is out. Personally, I know you are a much better student than Kristen could ever be, but...
But you promised Ted and I's issues won't come in between my education and what I deserve.
Promises? I made that promise because back then, my son was head over heels in love with you. He would have hated me if I was being unfair with you, but now he doesn't have a thing for you, and I can finally be however I want to be with you.
Your son... Are you sure he doesn't have a thing for me? Because I'd love to try. You know, he was still running behind me 2 days back. Now, since you broke your promise, why shouldn't I? Have a good day, Principal Smith.
Emma calmly walked out, leaving the principal shocked. She must have never seen this side of Emma. Did Emma just threaten her? The principal got worried. What was Emma gonna do now? Could she trick Ted to go back to her? As Emma rushed out of the principal's office, Carrie caught up with her, and she was scared too, seeing Emma all flushed up in anger.
Emma, are you okay? You're freaking me out. What happened back there? Did she tell you something? Anything?
No, but she knows what's coming for her, and it'll be on her.
Just then, Emma saw a familiar car stop near her. It was Robert's car, of course. Emma's emotions all got mixed up. She was so angry now, but not at the principal or Ted, but at Robert.
This guy doesn't understand words at all. It's time he gets his lesson.
What was Emma gonna do? Will her anger spoil the good things that were about to develop between her and Robert? Or was she really gonna go after Ted now?
Hi, Emma here. Hope you are loving Cupid's Curse. Keep following us as we release a new episode of Season 1 daily on YouTube. You can jump the queue and unlock all seasons of the audio series by installing the Pocket FM app now. Just click on the link in the description.